Alright, welcome back to the video. This is a continuation of my trip to Spain. Last time we were in Granada and I was showing you guys the palaces and doing the night photography. Today we are starting in Malaga and we only stayed one night and I didn't really do that much. We walked around a bit and saw some sights, saw a cool ruined castle area, but unfortunately didn't really shoot much because I got really sick, like food poisoning, bad sick. So I was pretty much out for half the day, for most of the day, and the day after. So yeah, this is Malaga, and yeah, this is what I managed to get. Now, unlike color film, I pretty much always exclusively shoot Tmax400 for travel and landscapes. For me, it's kind of just a safety film that I know will always deliver exceptional sharpness, fine grain, and it has a wide exposure latitude, so it saves me in high contrast scenes like these. So just a little bit of information about the castle. It's really high up, about 130 meters above Malaga, built in the 10th century, so it's really old, and was once one of the most impregnable fortresses in Spain. It now offers the best panoramic views of the city, port, and some say even the Mediterranean. So we were only in Malaga for one night because we were there to pick up our rental car to then go to Andalusia, which is a really beautiful part of Spain, famous for its white villages, and we wanted to drive around that area and just basically explore. So we drove to Andalusia to a place called Ronda, which we would then stay for a few days. On the drive up to Ronda, we ended up deep in the mountains and the weather flipped on us fast. One minute it was sunny, the next it was absolutely freezing, but I was still determined to get some shots, so I started hunting through Google Maps for the nearest viewpoints. Unfortunately, the one we found was not ideal, sketchy, half collapsed, and definitely not the safest place to stand, but that's the fun of shooting on the road. You never know what you're gonna find. I guess you could, as an abandoned observation deck here that I went down, and it is very a bit sus, so I'm probably not going to get my camera out. Also it's very cloudy, so there's no point. We got there and it was this amazing rustic old farmhouse, farming equipment everywhere, super kind of cottage, kind of really cool looking, but it didn't have any heating, like no central heating. It had hot water, but just no like radiators or anything. All we had was a small, really old electric radiator, and it's December, it's cold, all right, it's cold. So we knew it was gonna be a bit difficult, and it wasn't the most pleasant few days, but we made it work. We heated the room with the radiator, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, this B&B was really cool. So I tried to take a few images on the tripod. I don't know if they worked, but it was cool to try. You know, it's always cool to try. Once we were both ready, we set off toward the town of Ronda, climbing the steep steps in search of breakfast. Ronda is one of Spain's most dramatic towns, perched high above a deep gorge split by the Puente Nueve bridge and surrounded by old stone streets and wide open viewpoints. It's a place that feels shaped by the landscape as much as by history. This is it. This is what we came to Ronda to see. Big old bridge. 2 bridges and a bridge. After exploring Ronda, we set off toward the first of the famous white villages, a town called Zahara. Now, I wanted to stop at a few viewpoints along the way, so we were driving through the hills in this very mountainous region, and I started to realize how many hidden things are tucked into this landscape. One thing in particular really shocked me. Sitting on top of this hill were ruins, massive ruins. We had stumbled upon the long-lost Roman city of Acinipo. Acinipo, sitting alone in the wind, a town once founded by retired Roman soldiers, now reduced to rubble except for a proud amphitheater still standing at the peak of the hill. And let me tell you, the wind was so intense. It was kind of shaping the whole atmosphere, and definitely a challenge for me. Shooting everything handheld, it was sometimes difficult just to stay on my feet. Some remains of a column. So here's the city. There's an amphitheater here. And this is the baths. And then this is the prehistoric? Before Christ. Yeah. It's a little windy. It's so windy. Not what you'd usually expect from Spain. I don't know if the audio is picking up any of this. I don't think I've ever stood on the stage of a Roman amphitheater before, because you're not allowed to. Usually you're allowed to sit on the seats, but where can I photo? I don't think there's a photo here. Maybe if we go up there. This is a cool house. Man. walking back down now towards the baths. But very much, I'd like a hot bath right now. Exploring the ruins of Acinipo gave us a glimpse of how much history is hidden in these hills. Bold skies, strong contrast, and ancient stone still holding on. And after taking it all in, we descended back down and continued our journey towards Zahara, finding more unexpected places along the way. One of these stops was the large reservoir that sits just beside the town of Zahara. We pulled over along the road, and once again I had to really fight against the wind to get these shots. And I'm not entirely happy with how they turned out. I think it was just one of those moments where the 55mm just wasn't quite wide enough and the scene just went beyond the frame. Right, to Zahara. Right, we have made it to Zahara. Still too much deck, and it's still very windy. That's a castle. Really want to go up that castle. It's too windy and too cold, and it's going to take too long. So I think it's one of those occasions where it's nicer to look at the castle rather than go into the castle. Yeah, we got the photo. Okay, we have now driven to a place called Grazala or something. Zahara to some other town, okay? And we found a ruin that we wanted to visit, but we didn't realize that it was at the top of quite a steep hill. So we're just kind of climbing the hill, and we should be seeing it now. I think I do. I think you can just start to see it. Now we are losing light. We've got about an hour and a half left of light, but the sun has kind of gone down past the mountain, so I don't know what we're going to get here, but it's pretty cool. Pretty cool little, I guess, old church. Anyway. Oh, look at this. People have made shrines. So we're back home now at the B&B, but I just wanted to check, wanted to kind of explore a bit, because it's quite an interesting building. You've got like a wood pile here, and then up here kind of goes toward a ruined section of the house, which is pretty cool. Pretty weird. Now, if you have reached this far, thank you so much for watching. I can't believe how much we managed to do all in just our first day in Andalusia. It really just is such a beautiful place. Now, there's still more to come. Next time, we'll be continuing to explore the towns around Andalusia and Ronda, and I even do some more night photography. So stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one. They don't sell film anymore. It's just a take photo.
Bueno, dile que ya iremos al palacio.
It's a bit sad.